What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuned in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go!
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
Doing fantastic, man. I'm still on the fence about what the Giants did, man. So I'm hoping some positive comes out of it. If not, I mean, I might just put my paperwork in the trade change teams, man, because it doesn't look like we're gonna get Arch, man. That just doesn't look like it, man.
So, what's the plan now?
I mean, honestly, I don't even know, man. The quarterback situation is just in flux. We got like 95 quarterbacks on the roster. I don't get me wrong. I do like Carter. I like how our defense is looking. You know, with these pass rushers and everything, we did pick up some secondary help, but I mean, offensively, neighbors is going to need some help. But the question is, which one of these quarterbacks is going to produce, and if
Mm.
not, how many games are we going to win to put ourselves over the sweepstakes to get one of these top guys coming out this year or next year?
So, what are your thoughts on Jackson Dart?
I felt like they picked him because they thought he'd be Josh Allen, big quarterback, but he hasn't played well in the big games, so
hmm
he's definitely gonna need a lot of help there. So I mean, if you can't play big in the big games in the SEC, you're pretty much playing SEC type players, all year round.
Right.
It's not looking good. So but obviously they're not gonna start him right away. They got Russell and they got Winston there. They're probably gonna take up probably half the season before he gets out there. Barring there's no major injuries, but still, it's
hmm
just if he just comes out and he can't handle that pressure, it's gonna be a long season, man. How you feel about your Jets, man?
I don't know. I guess I like the pick that they had. I know you hear so many things leading up to the draft, and I feel like you just never know, right? It was late. They like the Banks kid coming late. They like Tyler Warren. They ended up going. I can't remember his name. Membu.
Yep.
I did like them taking Mason Taylor. I think he's going to be good. He's a big boy. Uh, he's got some ties to the Jets, obviously, through Jason Taylor.
Yeah.
Um, they stayed away from quarterback, so I thought that was interesting. I thought they might try to get a late round quarterback. They did not, so they're basically sticking with Justin Fields, which I don't hate that strategy. I would have liked to had a little bit of an insurance policy or someone to grow just in case that doesn't work out. But yeah, they're kind of putting all their eggs in the Justin Fields basket for right now.
Yeah. I mean that's good that I want to say it's good that they did, as far as him being committed. There's no distractions. He knows this is his team to steer it, either sink or
Sink or
swim.
swim. Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, I was a little disappointed you guys didn't go out and get that tight end with that 7th pick. I mean, that'd be 2 years in a row you guys passed out on the tight end. Hopefully,
Yeah. Yeah.
hopefully, this tight end doesn't boom out like what's the name did last year. So
Brock Bowers.
yeah,
Yeah, that was definitely a concern, to see the same thing kind of happen again. You don't want that, but they did really need line. Again, Tyler Warren I thought would have been a nice add, or Loveland, the kid from Notre Dame,
yep,
but it is what it is. We'll have to see if they made the right move. They got, back-to-back tackles in the last 2 drafts, so we'll see what happens.
yeah. Hopefully one of them pans out, so you guys don't be in offensive line purgatory like the Giants were
Yeah.
all those years drafting all those offensive linemen.
hmm
Um, so outside of Shador falling, which was kind of wild, um, who do you think have like what team outside of your team thought you had one of the better drafts or one of the worser drafts?
I'll be honest, I don't look at many other teams drafting. I usually just look at the Jets and Sometimes, I kind of peek around, but I didn't look at a ton. I did think the Browns. I thought the Browns did a pretty good job. I thought they got a nice pull from Jacksonville for Travis
Oh yeah.
Hunter.
Oh my God. What a
Um,
haul.
yeah, I thought that was a good move. I did think even getting Sanders was a good move. Maybe Dylan Gabriel was a weird pick if you're going to picture Sanders, but
Yeah.
um, I thought they did okay. I feel like the Chiefs always find gems in the draft. They got another wide receiver, didn't they?
I think maybe in the later rounds. I think in the
Yeah,
first round they went offensive line because
offensive
they
line.
were struggling with
Right.
homeboy getting on one pass off starts, and then
Oh
later
yeah,
on,
they got Simmons. That's right.
yeah, later on they went defensive tackle. So I mean, they have an interesting draft. They do. They moved up to get another defensive guy in the third. Later on in the third, they went ahead and got a cornerback. So they went heavy on defense
Hmm.
this draft. So they got to keep that defensive as young as possible because all that money's going into the offense. So
Yeah,
um, but still, I mean, they got a guy from Utah State in the
yeah. That's
fourth.
what that's what I was thinking of. I don't know why I thought it was
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah, but still, I mean, they got Rice coming back. I mean, they'll be right in the mix. The division's not too out of reach as far as competition. So it's just gonna be interesting to see how things pan out. Because once playoffs start and you're able to get to Mahomes,
Hmm.
that's always their issue.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Just say like I feel like in when you look at these drafts post mortem, like depending on where you look, like your team can have an A or an F. It's just really like what the certain person looking at it is thinking. So I think it just varies as to what your draft looks like, and I think you don't really know until you get on the field.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. Some of the later guys, that's what a lot of teams make their calling. When you see these guys that are drafted in the later rounds that end up becoming starters, you get a lot of value for those picks. That's the quarterback situation with the Giants just threw me off, man. I felt like we had so many. If we were going to move up, we should have did something else. But
Yeah,
um, they're kind of playing for the future and playing for the now. With these quarterbacks. So it's going to be interesting to see how things pan out. I
yeah,
did like you mentioned. I did like the Browns um, trade back to get that haul uh, from Jacksonville. Jacksonville's going to be right back in the same situation next year because they can't stop a nosebleed.
no,
If things do pan out with Shador or any other quarterbacks they have on the roster, you're still sitting at two potential top. I'm going to say at least one top 10, top five pick
hmm
going into next year. So you can do a lot of different stuff with that.
yeah, for sure, for sure. That's why I liked what they did there. They're gonna get, most likely, I would think two high picks next year, unless Trevor Lawrence comes back from the dead. But yeah, I really like that. I couldn't believe when I read the haul. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, they got this year's one from them. Next year's one. They got a two, the three, and then some more for next year. It was
It's
a lot.
crazy, crazy.
And of course, I mean, sneaky people of the draft, the Eagles, they went ahead and get one of the best linebackers in the draft all the way at 31.
Mm, hmm.
But he's probably going to be sitting out a year or majority of the year. He's coming off an injury, and they said he needs surgery. But
Okay.
um, I mean, that replaces one of their needs as far as their linebackers that went off into free agency. I mean, they just get younger and stronger on defense. They're going to be annoying, man. I
I
just hate
know,
to say it, man.
I know it.
Um, I did like what Atlanta did. They went out, got two pass rushers. That's 2 years in a row. They went out with got pass rushers, so hopefully that helps them. That's something they needed, especially in that division.
Yeah,
It's not great quarterback, so if you're able to get to the quarterback, it's definitely gonna put you in high favor outside of the Bucks. So other than that, every other team I was kind of suspicious about as far as what they did, but I mean we'll see what happens.
yeah, yep. Got to get on the
Um,
field and play.
yeah, I'm interested to see the Janty situation in Oakland. 'Cause, I mean, he's looking like he might be a top 5 pick in fantasy if everything
Yeah,
pans out.
uh,
Because Pete Carroll loves to run the ball.
he does. That he does.
And I think that was it for the NFL. I know your boy Pickens got traded to the Cowboys. You know that means there's going to be a lot more fights in the NFC East. Um, I mean, I,
Him and
I,
Lattimore. Him and Lattimore are definitely going to go at it.
oh yeah, all day. That's the thing. I don't think this really put them over the hump as far as I don't think he's what they needed, man. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think they needed a high possession guy. I thought they were going to try to move up to get one of those receivers in the draft, but didn't happen, man.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, wasn't really much else in the NFL.
No. Still
And
waiting
then,
on the Aaron Rodgers. Still waiting on the Aaron Rodgers situation.
yeah, we're gonna be dead by the time he decides, man. This is
I
crazy.
know. I know.
Holding the Steelers hostage, man. They could have drafted him. I mean, they did draft a quarterback later on, but it's just tragic, man. So,
Yep.
and then on to the NBA. We got NBA playoffs in full effect. Second round, pretty much going on. I mean, first round was pretty much quick and easy. Um, wasn't really any surprises.
Uh,
Um,
I don't know. I thought the Wolves beating the Lakers was a good one. I don't,
yeah,
you know, I think that one could have gone either way, but I thought that was interesting. The Warriors beating the Rockets. I think we all kind of felt that was going to happen, but still on paper, I guess it was an upset.
yeah, it was pretty much a. But that's the thing. Even though on paper it was an upset, I mean, when you look at the records, these teams are neck and neck,
Yeah.
especially in the West. So, but still, I mean, a lot of people thought the younger guns were going to prevail through, but that Warrior experience put them on top, man.
Hmm.
Rockets definitely got some things to figure out as far as offensively. Some of their top guys, they're not really great shooters, man.
Right.
So I mean that's one of the things that hurt them. So
Yeah.
maybe you go out, you get Kevin Durant, and honestly, you might have to trade Green or somebody else. And but I mean, we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, and I think it's part of the the young team first time in the playoffs. Sometimes it takes a couple of trips. We're seeing it with OKC. They look better. Even Indiana, I think, looks better this year than they did last year, especially in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics. They look a little more composed this year against the Cavaliers. So sometimes it's just you got to cut your teeth a little bit in the playoffs. It's a different game. The defense is intense. Every possession is important. It's grueling.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing, man. That's when it comes down to the experience. So these teams that have experience and been know how to handle the playoffs. That's where they're going to gain that advantage when teams are going on runs and how to fight those runs back or stop those runs.
Right.
So
Exactly.
we're definitely seeing it in some of the games, like you mentioned, the Pacers. They came back down on the Cavs, down 20. I mean, your boy Halliburton uh, had a game winner, man. I mean, people are saying he's overrated. He said overrate that. I liked him as a point guard, but you know, unfortunately, the players in the league don't think he's that good. So he's
It's
got to
kind of
prove it.
why don't people think he's that good? I don't get it.
I don't know, man. Maybe the way he shoots, or maybe he's like a pass because he's a kind of a pass first point type point guard. He's not really
Yeah.
like aggressive at times. I don't know. But I feel like that's the system they play in Indiana. It's not really like a one
Right.
man show where
Right.
he's taking 20, 30 shots a game. They pretty much play in that system, that Rick Carlisle has. So
Yeah.
um, I don't know. Maybe that's that. Maybe it's that. Maybe they feel like he can't. He's not a guy that can go out and get a bucket.
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, we'll see what happens. They're up 2-0 on the Cavs. Then they're going back to Indiana. So I mean, unfortunately, might be the last time the Cavs fans seen their team if they don't win one of these games in Indiana, man.
I don't see them losing both games there, but they're pretty beat up now. Mobley, Garland, and what's his name, DeAndre Hunter were all out. Mitchell played his butt off, but he ran out of gas at the end.
Oh yeah.
Uh, so yeah, it's definitely an uphill climb for them at this point.
Oh yeah, it definitely is, man. So I mean, that's it. They're gonna have to figure out something. somebody off their bench is gonna have to show up big time in order for them to uh, get a win. So one of these players get a little bit healthier. So
Yeah. Yep.
then we had the Knicks and the Celtics. Knicks took the first game, so we gained the home court advantage. They're playing right now, game two, down by 12. It's not looking good. Not looking good for my Knicks, man.
Yeah. I mean, that first game was kind of crazy. They were down 20 in the third quarter. The Celtics kind of just fell apart a little bit, and couldn't hit a shot to save their lives. So there's that. And then yeah, you got another tough game tonight. I mean, it's a little bit ugly basketball, Rich. I don't know what you think, but
Yeah, this game is very ugly, man. I said it kind of feels like what was happening in the beginning of game one, but pretty much it's prolonged itself the whole game. Very low scoring. I mean, you're looking at
hmm
a 72-84 game with 6 minutes left in the fourth. So
yeah,
um, everybody's struggling. I don't think anybody's having a good game. Celtics shooting 27%, Knicks shooting 30%. Well, no, now they're at 41 and 39. So that's kind
hmm
of low. Nobody's. I mean, you guys hit more threes this game compared to last,
yeah,
but it's definitely a slugfest right now. But I mean, if somebody's able to get hot, then they're going to be able to put away the other team. So we'll see what
hmm
happens in these next 6-7 minutes, man. And then in the West, I mean, we had Denver. They took down OKC with game one. I mean, both these teams split the series 2-2 in the season. So um, I'm interested to see if this is where OKC's experience doesn't, their lack of experience hurts them, or
hmm
if they're able to bounce back from what they learned last year.
yeah, yeah. I'm curious how game two plays out tonight. It took a little magic, I think, at the end of that game to win, but it was a steal for the Nuggets.
Oh yeah,
Jokic. I mean, I feel like Jokic has erased any controversy around him being MVP. Although he's not going to get it this year.
yeah,
It's kind of like the Embiid thing again, where like I like SGA. He's a good player, but there's just no one that's better than Jokic.
yeah. He's just doing too much for his team. As far
Yeah.
as points, rebounds, assists. I mean, he's counting for like almost 70% of their offense.
Yep.
And they kind of don't get me wrong, SGA is putting up like 30 a game, but I mean, 30. If you're just doing 30 a game, it's just like okay, you're not really doing anything else contributing to the team. Maybe it's more defensively than compared to Joker, but as far as like the
hmm
overall team most valuable player, he's definitely putting in more work. But hats off to him. I mean, he'll probably just like you mentioned, he'll probably get it this year. Um,
Yep.
but might like you mentioned, might not be another situation again where the Nuggets go far and SGA is sent home. So
Yeah.
um, we're gonna have to wait and see, but still, it's still gonna be a hell of a series, and definitely look forward to seeing how things pan out, man. It would be crazier too if they won it all and freaking their coach they fired. Now they gotta go give him a ring.
I
Um,
know. I know that would be hilarious.
so like I said, this whole situation will be interesting to pay attention to. And then on the other teams on the West, I mean, we got the Timberwolves and the Warriors. Warriors take game one. Despite Steph Curry getting hurt with his hamstring, they say he'll be out for a week, so he's definitely missing the next game. So, I mean, Timberwolves gonna have to do what they do and step it up, man, because they sucked that first game.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. I think they shot 14% or something from three point land. That ain't gonna get it done. Not in this NBA. So yeah, they got to play better. Curry out for it looks like at least a week. So if Golden State can come in and if they can somehow win this next game and go up 2-0, I think they can rest Steph a little bit longer. So important game tomorrow for the Warriors, well, and the Timberwolves really, but
Yep.
we'll see what happens, and hopefully they don't have to rush Steph back, but he's a Warrior. Apparently it's his first ever what did they say?
And
Muscle pull or something.
oh, okay. Yeah, I felt like everything
So
else was always his ankle. So
yeah, he's never had a muscle pull in his career, which is kind of crazy. So hopefully he gets back because he's obviously fun to watch. So
oh yeah, it definitely is, man. But it's an interesting playoff series, man.
yep.
As far as the remaining teams, what's funny is after the T-Wolves beat the Lakers, all of a sudden you see all these freaking Ant Edwards commercials now.
Hmm.
Whether it be Sprite, I think he's got a Chipotle one. I see him in a bunch of other ones. And he did not want to be the face of the NBA, but it looks like the NBA is
They want him to be the
the
face.
face. Yeah, it's like they're trying to make that happen. So I'm gonna be interested to see what happens if he's able to get past the Warriors. For his resume, for him to beat KD, LeBron, and Steph in a playoff series. If that happens with Steph,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the NBA is gonna pretty much put him as the face, man,
Yep.
regardless if he likes it or not.
For sure.
So Jordan Jr., watch out, man. Um, and then I think that's it for the NBA. I don't think there's anything else going on.
Yeah, the only other thing, Popovich stepping down as coach, taking on the president role in San Antonio. So Mitch Johnson taking over. Yeah, I think a lot of people probably saw this coming. Pop just wasn't recovering as quickly as he wanted to. I think it's good for the organization. It's what Pop wanted. He wanted continuity, and you could tell, what the players and the organization think about him. So yeah, we'll see how this changeover goes, but it should be hopefully good for the Spurs, and maybe they'll be looking at Cooper Flag in a little bit.
Yeah, that's gonna be ridiculous, man. It's crazy. I think the Spurs are like one of the only teams that bring back former players as like
Coaches,
consult yeah, coaches or consultants.
yeah,
Um, 'Cause I think Ginobili's like his assistant or something. I think they have Tim Duncan on there on staff somewhere and
yep. Tony Parker's on
Parker on
staff.
staff. Yeah, so I mean they're gearing up for a run, man. Especially if they get this first round pick. This is not gonna be fair. They're pretty much sitting at three back-to-back rookies of the year.
Yeah,
Not to mention they're gonna have a ton of cap space, and
yep.
I have to go buy a Spurs jersey, man. It's gonna be crazy, man. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how it pans out. The lottery's next week, I think, too. So,
Is it next week?
yeah, I think it's next week Tuesday. So we'll find out who's gonna have that top pick, and then I think that's it for the NBA. Oh, it's on Monday, and then on to MLB. Nothing really here. Teams are just going. Yeah, it's not really going on in MLB really.
I know it's been pretty quiet actually. I was just trying to think if I'd heard anything, but nothing big coming out of the MLB right now.
Nah, it's just I feel like everybody's kind of trying to make runs.
Yeah, it's early season. Everyone's getting their footing and whatnot. I don't know, just like the one big buzz for me is Judge is still batting. I think in the 420 somewhere, which is kind of crazy into May. So, but other than that, I feel like it's been fairly quiet. I think the Padres and Dodgers both he's batting 412. Both come down to earth a little bit.
I mean, what's crazy is that down to earth, and the Dodgers are still 25-12, and then
Oh, I know. I know.
the Padres are right behind them, 24
Yep.
and 12, and
Yep.
then San Fran's right behind them with 24 and
I know.
14,
It's crazy.
and all in the same division. Yeah, as I said, it's pretty much nothing really too crazy going on. Everybody's that's the only thing with Judge. I mean, he's putting up great numbers, but he's got to win, man, for it to mean
Yep.
something, especially in
Yep.
baseball. Especially being on the Yankees, man.
Right.
And then I feel like Soto's doing terrible in the Mets. At the
He's
Mets,
not
man.
he's not doing good, but the Mets I mean, they were winning. I kind of stopped watching when they were kind of on a roll.
I know he did a homer the other night, but
Yeah, he's
I feel
been
like
he's been he's been fairly quiet, but like I was listening to something. His like career average is only like 280.
yeah, for him to
Only
get paid, that's
only
a lot.
yeah,
That's a lot
it's
of
a
money to
lot
be
for what
getting
you're
paid.
getting paid for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Mets are 24-14, so they're up there.
Yeah, I feel like for somebody to get paid that much, you got to be in like the above 330, like 350 range or something.
He hit
Um,
he obviously hit 2 homers today.
oh yeah,
But
trying
260,
to
7 home runs, 17 RBIs. He's definitely missing Judge behind him, that's for sure.
yeah. I mean, I think he's trying to get adjusted to it as well. I think you mentioned
Yeah.
that. So the Mets got a decent team, so
Yep.
they spent their money where they needed to in order to be in the position they are now. So and on to NHL, getting NHL playoffs going on. I mean, we're pretty much advanced to the next round. We got the Maples versus the Panthers. Maples are up 1-0 in the series, and
And
then
they're winning
oh
tonight
no,
too.
yeah, so it's looking like a 2-0 for. Well, I mean, yeah,
Panthers are tough though. Panthers are tough. I wouldn't count them out, that's for sure.
nah, but I mean, but that's the thing about hockey. Hockey compared to the other sports, like team, you could go down three zip and still come back and win. It's been done a lot more times compared to like basketball or baseball or
Hmm.
anything else. So you definitely have potential to do that. I mean, Panthers were one of the teams that were favored to win it all. So it's gonna be interesting to see if they, the Leafs take them out, and then
Yeah.
we're looking at a young Dallas team that people were projected to that could possibly take it this year, um, and even the Oilers. So
Yep. Yep. There's some legit Canadian teams in there ready to, they could do some damage. You get the Oilers, obviously, the Maple Leafs, the Jets are starting their second round series tonight. And then yeah, so you could potentially be looking at, if they all win, three out of the four, semifinalists be Canadian teams, which they haven't had a Canadian Stanley Cups in since 1993, I believe.
oh yeah, that's a long time. It's
Yeah.
like 20 years, man. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, you said 93, right? That's 30.
93, I think the Canadians last one. Yep.
Yeah, almost 30. Damn,
Yep.
getting old. Damn, man.
I know.
So definitely looking forward to seeing how things shake out here. I'm interested to see how this Dallas team they made a huge push in us as far as to making some changes in order to try to win it this year. So
Hmm.
and then I think that's it for NHL. I don't think there's anything else. And then we got PGA games this week, but previous week we had
There's a big tournament this week.
this week.
Yeah, the
What?
truest championship. Yeah, so it's an elevated event. This is typically the week it's in Charlotte, but because they're hosting the PGA Championship next week, they pushed it up to Philadelphia. So there's the small field, the 75-person field or whatever it is, with the big purse, but it's a big one for these guys, big money. So you got all the big names. The only one who's not in it is Scheffler. So he won last week at the CJ Cup. He dominated, and I guess he took the week off. I don't know why he wouldn't want to go get some more money, but I guess it is what it is. But everyone else, all the big names are playing, and then they go right from there to Charlotte for the PGA Championship next week.
Yeah, I feel like he probably had it pre-planned out. Like probably figured out like, hey,
Yeah,
I'm gonna play these tournaments so I get enough rest for certain time periods. But then I think you might have been able to get on the hot streak and you got you took a week off. But I'm sure it's part of his game plan to take down some of the other bigger tournaments. So we'll
hmm,
kind of see what happens with this.
yep.
And who do you like in this tournament?
It's tough to go against Rory. I actually do like Justin Thomas in this one a little bit. He's been playing well. It's not a long course, so you don't need the big boomers. Obviously it always helps having the the distance off the tee, but it's shorter par threes, shorter, just shorter course in general. So who else do I like? I kind of like Ludwig again, Aubert. I think he's due for a good tournament. But yeah, Rory's going to be the odds-on favorite, but we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, man. I'm sorry to break the news to you. Knicks are on the 17-2 run, man. and they got a 2-point lead against the Celtics, man.
You must be ahead of me because I only got a 1-point lead. Well, now a 3-point lead.
Oh, yeah, one. I got one. I'm behind. I got a 1. So I got 89, 88 now. So
Oh, I'm behind then because I got 89, 86.
okay. So I'm not gonna say nothing until
Yeah, don't don't
that
don't
thing's
say
about to
nothing.
come 0. Before everything disconnects, I know what happened.
Ugh.
And then I think that's it for sports. I don't think there was anything else. And then it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. We got another edition of JD's Bites and Brew. What you got for us?
So this week it's been a light cooking week for the last few weeks for me. I've been on vacation, and whatnot, but sorry, just pulling up the recipe. All right, for this week, all right, so this week was something something new. So I've seen these a bunch. I've never actually done it. But have you ever seen these where they take the tortilla and they put everything in the tortilla and fold it up and then you grill it?
Which one? When they like cut it, they like
Yeah,
they like cut it
yeah.
into like
You cut it
almost
into
like
like you cut it like you cut a slit in one spot
halves.
and then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
fold it into four.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I always wanted to do
yes.
that too.
Yeah, so I tried this for the first time, made a like a folded chicken gyro. So just cooked the chicken breast, nothing special, just a little, excuse me, olive oil, salt, pepper, oregano, garlic powder on that. Just cooked it on the stovetop. Got some pre-made tzatziki sauce from the store. Cut up some cucumbers, put that on there. Air fried some French fries. Topped that with a little bit of oregano, feta cheese, and then took some lettuce, tomato, and red onion and diced that up, and put that each on a quadrant, I guess it would be, and then folded it up and grilled it on the stovetop again. And yeah, it came out pretty good. It was definitely a little more work than I was expecting, and but I mean it's delicious. They make it look easy on online, so it's not too. If you have the stuff already made, it's not too bad. But you know, just making everything takes a little bit, and then you have to put everything together, fold it up, and get it going. So overall, I thought it was pretty good though. I was able to make a couple of them, so had it for leftovers the next day. Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Man, that sounds good, man. Like I said, I always wanted to make that, man. I've seen that a bunch of times. I've seen them do like a bacon a BLT one, or it was like different quesadilla ones. I always wanted to try that, man.
Yeah.
Definitely have to knock that down this summer and put that together. And then what'd you guys drink that down with?
All right, so I got another beer from. Let's see where it's from. It's from Gizmo Brew Works. I'm just trying to look where that is. It's a double IPA, a New England IPA. It's called Hindsight. I got it from a buddy. I think it's somewhere near Raleigh. Just looking it up. Anyway, it's 8.4%, so it does come in a little on the higher end. It it doesn't it doesn't pour like a New England IPA. I think like hazy. It poured a little lighter, which is fine for me. I don't really care, as long as the flavor is good. I thought the flavor was actually pretty good. It didn't give me an 8.4% vibe, so it wasn't malty or anything, which was nice. So overall, I thought it was pretty good. Again, it's one of those where like we've had we get these kind of often, but I wouldn't really go out of my way to get it, but I wouldn't deny it either. So I'm not waiting in line, but the fact that it was in my fridge and it was there, it was tasty. I'd probably give it a 7.2.
Oh man, you took a little dip, man. Took a
I
little
know.
dip. Got to get back at it next.
I got one already for next week. I was holding off because I've been sitting on this one, but I got one for next week that might tip the scales.
Oh man, the force is strong within you, young Padawan. Uh, but man, this Last thing is it's good. It's good that you know running through stuff as far as what you like, don't like.
Yeah.
Need to have a an all star veer off where
Yeah.
you do some of the best ones just for like a
I
round
know.
two
I
for a
know.
round two just to see how it compares.
I know. I do got to go back on some of these.
I'll definitely have to add that. I don't know if I add that one
Nah,
again. I'm not gonna lie.
that one you could probably pass on.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm missing too much. You didn't sound too excited when you gave that rating, so I was like, I
Like
don't know.
it's one of those. It was like it was good. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't go buy it. You know.
Yeah, yeah, it's one of those ones. If somebody brought it, you would. Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
If
but
it's there, I'll drink it. If not,
yeah, yeah,
not
you're
that
not missing
desperate.
out much. Yeah.
No.
And then that's JD's Bites and Brew, everybody. And then this week for the BRRs, we got our staple shows we're watching. I feel like I'm watching more shows, but I don't know. I watched Your Friends and Neighbors on Apple. The show's not bad, man. I actually like it, man. It's pretty much about a guy who loses his job and he's trying to figure out how to pretty much make a living. And then he's like, I don't want to tell you because I kind of give it away, but he's kind of doing some things to his neighbors in order to maintain his lifestyle. So it has like it's kind of like a Ozark type of feel to it, but it's a little bit more lighthearted as far as like comedy and stuff like that. Definitely more sexual content going on than that. But it's not a bad show, man. It's not a bad show at all, man. Kind of grows on you after he starts doing what he starts doing. So I think they got about 5 or 6 episodes out now. So I think they did a 8 to 10, I think, somewhere in between there. So definitely looking forward to see how things pan out for the rest of the season for this show. But definitely something you could check out. You got The Last of Us. I don't know if you saw
Mm.
the last episode.
I did. Yep.
They kind of gave the backstory. What's his name? Noel? No, what's his name? Whose name is
Isaac.
Isaac? Yeah. As far as how he became who he was. He was with Fedra, then he left out. He left Fedra, and he was part of the group that formed the Wolves. So we're definitely going to get to learn more about him. You got to see some of the damage the smiley face people did to some of the people, and then your girls they finally made it to Seattle, man.
Yeah. It was a quick trip to Seattle actually. But yeah, it was I thought that was a pretty good episode. It was definitely like I do like getting a little backstory and they got in a little hot water there, but yeah, interested to see kind of what happens now. We found out that Dina's pregnant and she was hiding it a little bit from Ellie, but yeah, I know
Is
that
it me? Is it me, or did that like whole scene seem kind of weird?
it was a little
Like
weird.
it seemed like off. Like
It felt off a little bit. Like I forget what she was like. It was just funny 'cause she was like, I'm pregnant, and then she's like, all right, now we're gonna like make out or whatever.
well,
Like I don't
yeah,
know.
it was like what? Like they just forced it. Like, but
Yeah.
kind of, I felt like it was supposed to be like at a later point as far as like the reveal and stuff, but they just like let's just get it over it. Just put it in right here, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was I thought it was good. Now I'm like, watching the preview for episode 5 and it seems like the fungus is in the air down there. I'm curious to see what happens.
Yeah, man. I'm curious to see if at any point, I don't want to go look at the game or anything, if Ellie becomes infected or
Yeah.
like let's say she gets bit, if she gets bit by all the different I'm gonna say walkers,
Yeah,
like if it
the different kind.
yeah, I feel like if it'll mutate her into like a brand new kind, like the queen or some shit. But I'm curious to see how this all folds out as far as um, you know, her to continually be bit if at
Yeah,
any point it is gonna
affect her.
affect her, yeah. So but like you said, man, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens this season as far as who she's able to get to get her revenge. I'm sure she's not gonna be able to get to Abby by the end of the season, but definitely a few other people. So, and then as far as other shows, I don't think there was any other shows but I felt like I was watching other shows. I definitely checked out a bunch of movies. I watched Thunderbolts. I gave it like a 6.6 out of 10. I felt like the reviews were overly hyping the movie, and I saw the movie and I was like, all right, that's it. Yeah, they compared it to a lot of the old Avengers movies, but it's definitely not on that level.
Mm-hmm.
There's like one decent big fight scene at the end with the main guy, but well towards the end, but it's pretty much quick. He makes light work of them, and then some stuff happens and they end up defeating him. But I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah.
It was just I don't know. It was just it wasn't enough. Like you saw some of those Avengers movies and they had some of the fight scenes, but like between Bucky and Black Panther or like between Thanos and the Avengers, and you were just like on
Mm-hmm.
the edge of your seat. Like this wasn't that. So
Yeah.
it was an okay movie. Definitely in the middle of the pack as far as the previous Marvel movies. I'm not sure why people saying Marvel's back. I don't think this is them back, but
Yeah.
they got another two movies scheduled for the year, so let's see if any of the other movies shake it up to
Yeah.
get them, get back on track to give you that Marvel feel.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, I watched The Amateur. It was okay. I thought it was gonna be a lot more action, but it wasn't. Yeah, it was okay. This was probably worse than the Thunderbolts, to be honest. It just wasn't enough. The main guy, he's not a believable like badass. He's more like he's pretty much playing the same person that he played in was it no Mr. Robot, like a smart guy, but he's actually
Yeah.
killing some people, but he's not really kind of like sawing some of the people away as far as like putting them in situations where they got to get out by a certain time frame, and if they don't, they die. So
Right. Okay.
it was okay. Not something I would recommend. Not one of the movies that like it'll probably hit TNT, and when it's on TNT, I'm not gonna watch it. So it's
Right.
one of
Right. Right.
those.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's a once or in a lifetime, man.
Okay.
Then I checked out The Accountant too.
Oh yeah. How was
Um,
that?
that was decent, man. It's funny, but with Ben Affleck and the dude that's playing his brother, the way they act. But it's definitely a lot of do I feel like definitely a few more action scenes. But it seems like a bridge movie where they're setting it up for The Accountant 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if they choose to. But it's
Mm-hmm.
still a good movie. I definitely like the this one's probably a little bit low, probably below it. But I mean, like I said, definitely a decent movie. Definitely something you can check out, like The Accountant one. But this to me, this feels like a bridge movie as far as a lot of the cliffhanger stuff they left open for the accountant to do. Because
Mm-hmm.
they introduce his brother, they introduce kind of his network of how he finds what he finds out as far as people, stuff like that. So I don't want to give anything away, but they definitely could pull a lot from it and run about accounting 3, 4, 5, and then maybe one or two spinoffs.
Okay.
And then I checked out Havoc. That was a show on Netflix. This was like John Wick on steroids. I'm not gonna lie. As far as like people dying, people getting shot, not too much karate, more gun action stuff. Especially like towards the end, later half of the movie. A lot of people was getting shot. A lot of people was getting hacked up, thrown off for stuff. I said this was like John Wick on steroids. If you love John Wick, you probably love this movie. Um, but it's a decent movie. Definitely something you want to check out. If you have a phobia of people dying, this is definitely a movie you don't want to see.
Okay.
Because some people are getting cut up with like machetes and stuff. But a lot of people getting shot up too. You're seeing a lot of bullet holes in the face and the body. But like I said, some of it's kind of like unrealistic. Like, cause you're like, there's no way there's that much gunfire you don't get shot yet. Like as you're going through the movie, but you know, the movie's the movie. So definitely
Right.
something you can check out for Netflix date night or something. Definitely not a bad watch, man.
Okay.
And then outside of that, I mean, wasn't really much else. Still got a bunch of shows on the radar. So
Yeah. I
um,
started. I started. I started the last season of You. It's been pretty good so far. And then also finished Happy Face on Paramount Plus. That one was pretty good.
Okay.
So if you get time, it's pretty good. Dennis Quaid is in it. And what's her face? I can't remember her name, but it's solid. I think yeah. Next, I'm gonna watch Mobland. I've heard good things about that.
Yeah, I wanted to watch that too, but I want to give it a few episodes.
Yeah.
I did watch The Bondsman. It started off a little slow, but it's a decent show. But it's more like a supernatural type show. I don't know if you're into that.
hmm
So if I don't know if you ever watched Supernatural.
I never watched it. No.
Yeah, it's kind of like that show. It's decent show, decent show. I'm
Okay.
interested to see if it gets renewed for another season, and if it does, and how many seasons Amazon's able to get out of it.
Yep.
Because the Supernatural show, they did like 23, 24 seasons, something crazy.
hmm
Um, and they touched a lot of stuff. So it's
Okay.
it's it's gonna be hard for somebody to do like a supernatural type show and for them not to pull some stuff from that show. So
hmm
but yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. Got anything else?
No, I'm trying. I think that's about it. That's all I'm watching right now.
Yeah. Right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time.
Till next time, Rich.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.